Hey everybody, it's Sonjdradeluxe and today I'm giving you this galaxy-inspired makeup tutorial featuring the new Fenty Beauty holiday collection. It's a good day. In the spirit of Halloween, I thought I'd do a little galaxy tutorial, or if you just want to twinkle like the night sky, or if Bae says he wants more space, then stay tuned to get the look. I'll be starting out barefaced, and I'm going to go into the Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Profilter Primer. I find that this works best if you just take one pump and put it in the areas where you have texture or pores, so for me right in the T-zone, and I'm just kind of dabbing it on just a little bit. Next I'm going to go into the Gleam by Melanie Body Radiance and Peach Deluxe to give my skin a little extra radiance and to act as a moisturizer and blur the skin. With the Fenty Beauty Profilter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation, I'm going to mix two shades, the 390 and the 370, to get a nice tanned look. And I'm just blending that all over with my fingers. I do find that the primer makes everything blend on really nice and smooth. And I just want a nice even base for when I put all the pizzazzle on. Next, with my Studio Finish Concealer in NW25, this is by MAC, and I highlight underneath the eyes as I normally do, just giving it a tap and kind of blending it in a V shape. Next, with the MAC Basic Bitch palette, I'm going to go into the black shade. Well, actually, when I started swiping, it's actually kind of like a midnight black blue color, so it's perfect. And I'm going to take my Morphe M433 brush, and I'm going to start to blow out my crease. So I'm starting where I want the most product, which is right above my crease, and I'm blending it up towards the forehead from there. I'm making sure I'm going back and forth in my eyebrows so I don't miss any areas. And once it's all buffed out, when I have very little on my brush, I blend it up towards my forehead, kind of like leaving a circular space bare in the center of my forehead. So I just want to work it back and forth, getting it more and more intense into the crease and pulling it upwards so it kind of fades. And I'll repeat the same steps on the other side, as well as bringing it down just a touch onto the bridge of my nose. With my dark deep mineralized skin finish and my Morphe M527 brush, I'm going to use this like a transition color, almost like if you were doing a eyeshadow, and just blending the forehead. I'm going to go back into my MAC palette, into the purple color, and I'm just adding a little bit of depth by adding some of that purple in certain areas, more so in the center, and blending that upwards into the bronzer and the black. Once you've got enough intensity, you can drag a tiny bit, whatever's left over on the brush, down your nose as a subtle contour. Let's be real, it's not subtle. With the new Fenty Beauty eyeshadow double-ended brush, I'm going to go back into that midnight color, and I'm going to drag a line along my bottom lashes, and I'm going to connect it to that space we left on the top. I'm not going quite into the inner corners of my eyes, but pretty close. And I'm wiggling it back and forth so I can drag just a touch to meet with the other line. That way you don't have to commit to anything. You just drag whatever color's there and then intensify it if you like the shape, making sure to check that your lines are going in the same direction. Next, with the very exciting Fenty Beauty Galaxy eyeshadow palette, I'm going to start by going into the blue shade, which is called Midnight Bolt, and I'm going to drag that along the lower lash line where we put our midnight blue color, and I'm going to buff it in so it's nice and metallic looking. Colors are very pigmented. I'm going to be doing a review on this collection very soon, so I will go into more depth later on. And I'm using the bigger side of the brush because I want it to be a little bit more of a fluffy, blown out look on the bottom. When you want to go into tighter spaces, you can use the smaller end, but I'm just working it back and forth so it's nice and intense. Next, with Cosmic Ocean, I'm going to fill in inner quarters of my eyes using the small end of the brush just to give it some dimension and to brighten it up a little bit. And I'm pressing a little bit more firm so I get more pigment. If you want to have less pigment and more of just the glitter, you can use less pressure. With the shade Mars on Fire, I'm going to flick some of that into my brow and just above my brow. Galaxy eyes, they have these kind of beautiful colors, and I want to add as much as I can. So I'm going back in with Midnight Bolt, and I'm just putting some into my crease to give a little bit more color. I kind of use that black blue shadow as a base, and I'm just adding in color and definition over top. Next with ultraviolet, again going back to what I was explaining with light pressure or firm pressure, I'm using light pressure just so I get the little bit of glitter, and I'm pressing that. I'm using light pressure and kind of tapping it on all over so it's nice and glittery. And I'm gonna go back into Cosmic Ocean, and just above the arch of my brow, I'm going to add a little bit of that blue color so it looks a little bit more like a starry sky. And I'm gonna tap that same color over top of the dark blue, very light pressure so I just get the glitter. Next with my MAC CHROMACAKE in white, I'm gonna take my MAC 130 brush and I'm gonna swiggle it on the CHROMACAKE, and I'm making sure it's quite wet. I'm just trying stuff out, so I decided to use my makeup sweater to protect the rest of my face, but I'm doing flicks with my thumb, making sure the brush is wet or else you won't get flicks, and I'm just dragging my thumb across the brush. Success, it worked, and it's going to look like little stars in the night sky. This paint is pretty forgiving, so if you do make a mess, you can just give it a quick dab with your finger, but I'm just kind of spraying the stars all over the kind of galaxy area of my face on both sides. This side, see how the brush wasn't wet enough and it doesn't really do anything. You want to make sure that you mix enough water in there so you can get a nice flick. Feel me? Back into the Galaxy palette, I'm going to go into the color Ozone, and I'm going to fill in the inner half of the blank space that we left using the small end of the brush because I'm in a smaller space. And I'm using this just to kind of highlight the inner middle of my eyelid with Sunburst from the palette, using the bigger side to kind of press on the beautiful gold color. And this is with firm pressure, switching over to the smaller end to get into the tight spaces. Again, if you want more color, then press a little bit more firm. You can get a really beautiful, rich color. Same thing on the other side, and it kind of gives a soft ombre effect because we did that light underneath. Next with the 2-in-1 glitter release eyeliner in Alien Bay. I wish I read that beforehand because I didn't know it was 2-in-1, but I'll get to that in the review. I'm going to draw a line around the area that we left gold, just for a little dramatic Alien Bay type look. I'm first going along my lash line in kind of a regular eyeliner way, and I'm bringing it out in the inner corners of my eyes. Then just above my crease where the gold stops, I'm going to carve out the rest of the line, making it a little bit thicker and smoothing it as I go. I like to draw my wing and then connect it to the top afterwards. I like this eyeliner because it is flexible. It doesn't get all crumbly. If you want to go back in and touch it up, it's bomb. And it's such a beautiful color. You could switch out for your black if you wanted to, but I just love the beautiful, soft blue, reflective quality of it. Same thing on the other side. I was like needing a hope and a prayer to see if I could get it to match, but I think I did it. Next, I'm going to go into the KILLAWAT highlighter in Ginger Binge and Moscow Mule. And we're going to wing that right on top of my cheekbones. I'm going to go down the center of the nose, top of the lip, around the lips basically, just to give a nice highlight around the mouth. And with the shade Light Year in the Galaxy palette, I didn't really know what to do for brows, so I just decided to take this darker shade and kind of carve out eyebrows, pulling them out quite far. I didn't really want a definitive line for my eyebrows, but I wanted to create some definition so I don't look totally bald eyebrowed. And I'm just doing swipes towards the inner corner and then pulling it out towards the ends just so that there's like a shape of brow. Next, with my MAC Cosmetics Night Moth lip liner, I'm going to draw inside my lip line, keeping my lips kind of small, almost like flapper-like. I'm just going to draw a sweetheart Cupid's bow and then keep it really tight and small in the inner, on the bottom lip. I wanted a galaxy kind of ombre type of lip. Next, with the Fenty Starlit lipstick in Supernova, I'm going to blend in that line that we did with the lip liner, OBVS, and I'm just kind of dragging it along to soften the color a little bit. This is such a beautiful moisturizing color with glitter in it. It's like a soft pink. It's stunning. I'm using that to kind of start my ombre. And then with the Cosmic Gloss in Gal on the Moon, I'm going to fill in just the area that we have lined out. I love this because it's got kind of like blue-green some glitter in it, but it's kind of like a plummy sheer gloss. It's not really sheer, I don't know how to explain it. We'll get to that into the review. Back in with the white CHROMACAKE, I'm gonna go along and put in some stars. I'm using a flat, small brush. This is the Smith 212. It's a flat brush so I can kind of easily draw in some lines. I kind of did like a little cross and then drew an X through it to draw little stars. If you want to bold it out, you can go over top of some stars later on so they look like they're at different distances. But this will just give you a little twinkle. I don't know what the heck happened to that one. But the art of this is knowing when to stop. I was just about at overdoing it, but I decided to stop. With the opposite end of the brush, the stick part, I'm going to dip my stick into the CHROMACAKE and I'm just going to do little dots all over to have different shapes of stars just to bring it out a little bit more and carry it onto my cheek. The extended play mascara, I'm going to do a soft coat on the top, quite a dramatic coat on the bottom. I wanted to snatch up the cheeks a little bit more, so I went into the shade Ultraviolet again, and a dense buffing brush. This is the Morphe M512. Again, using pressure so I can really get that color, just to add a little bit more definition, you know? Next, with the Sugar Pill eyelashes in Idol, I'm going to apply them to the outer half of my eyes. I like these because they have little gems on them, so I thought it was very fitting for this look, and also they're not too heavy so you can see all that work we put in on the eyelids. Wiggling it down as close as I can to my lash line, and I'm surprised I pulled it off. So that completes the look. Thank you guys so much for watching. There will be a Fenty holiday collection beauty review coming up very soon. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and follow. Love yourself, stay pretty, and I will see you guys again in the next tutorial. Take care.